welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to the second episode of the Life Wisdom vlog. My name is Michelle Fondin and we are here for this is the third, sorry. It's the third episode of the Life Wisdom vlog. The second episode was posted last Sunday. I don't know, I'm losing my head here. And we are here to continue on with the law of pure potentiality, part 3. And we're going to talk about non-judgment. It's a hard topic. I am taking the lessons from the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Dr. Deepak Chopra. I've got Grogu here. I don't have my Grogu mug though. I've got the, what is it? Coffee Cats and Yoga Mats. This was actually custom made for me by my merchant, the Pocket Suite app that I use to book appointments. So if you're new, do subscribe below. Click on the bell scope to offer all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. And I'm gonna take a sip. I've got ginger tea today. I love this. Oh my God, ginger tea is so good. I've got ginger tea with honey. It's amazing. Gotta take another sip. It's so good. Wow, that's, it's from Trader Joe's actually. It's like ginger powder. It's so concentrated and it's really good and really kind of spicy. Oh boy, guys. Okay. So in the last vlog, we talked about the 2 concepts out of 3 for the law of pure potentiality to work. And I'll put that link here for vlog number 2 for Life Wisdom, the Life Wisdom vlog. And today we're going to talk about non-judgment. And I'm going to read one line from the book, From the Law of Pure Potentiality, because this is something I read in all of my yoga classes for like 10 years. 10 years, guys. And it says, I will practice non-judgment. I will begin my day with a statement. Today I shall judge nothing that occurs. And today I will remind myself not to judge. That is so hard, you guys. Okay. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't judge. I'm very non-judgmental. I just go with the flow and I don't judge anybody. I am a child of God. I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. You are wrong and you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else because everybody judges. Every single solitary person judges, including myself. And why do we judge? Why do we judge? We judge because our human brains are designed to judge. We have this very survivalist brain that is conditioned over millions of years for survival. And because our human brains are designed for survival, we are constantly assessing and evaluating if something is good or bad for us, if something is safe or unsafe, if something is resonating with us and going to keep us safe and whole and feeling good, or if it's not. So because we have these reptilian brains, if you will, we have this, like, it's hardwired in our limbic system. We have a very primitive brain. And that's not to say we haven't evolved and developed over time. That's why we have the prefrontal cortex that is illuminated during meditation. And that is really higher thinking and higher judgment, meaning like we're able to evaluate for like a higher purpose, a higher good. So I'm not saying that we have not evolved in our brain functioning. It's just that the normal brain functioning, if we're not doing anything, if we're just letting our brain go on autopilot, we have a very judgmental brain because it's just designed to look for danger. It's designed to look for ways in which you will die. And so to that end, it's going to constantly be judging and evaluating people, situations, circumstances, events, the environment in order to try to keep you safe. And of course, that limbic part of your brain can tend to go on overdrive. And so when you say, I don't judge, it's just it's not even true because you are actually designed to judge. You're designed to judge in order to keep you safe. And so the active part of non-judgment is to not assess anything right away. Does that make sense? So I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. So one is a real world example that's happening in my life right now. And it might sound silly, but I really want to outline this in order to help you to understand what non-judgment is about. So on May 14th, I think it was, I ordered a MacBook Pro laptop computer for my son for his graduation. My son Xavier is graduating from high school, yay, on June 3rd. And we talked about getting him a new laptop. So I saw that Costco was having a sale with $200 off the MacBook Pro. And I called my son. I'm like, hey, is this the one you want? Is this one okay? Okay, I'm going to order it. Long story short, I ordered the computer, which, it was close to $1,400 on my credit card. And I got a notification that the computer was going to show up the next day, Saturday. I think that was May 15th. And it was supposed to show up. And I tracked it all day. And at the moment that it was supposedly showing up, no computer. So UPS said the computer was delivered. I was right there by the door. It was never delivered. I checked with my neighbors. I checked with the phone. No computer. So I've spent hours and hours since then on phone calls with Costco, phone calls with UPS. I had to file a police report, even though the UPS guy never brought it. And I've spent 2 hours in chat just trying to get my refund after investigations deemed that I was worthy of a refund. And still no computer. I'm recording this on May 26th. So of course this is, over 10 days later, no computer, no refund, still about $1,400 on my credit card. So when we encounter a situation like this that is so time consuming, so complex, so entangled in so many different things, it can be really easy to make a judgment. Going, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Why did these things happen to me? I'm so unfortunate. This really sucks. And it does suck. I will give you that. It does suck. But if I'm to remain in a space of non-judgment, I will say, I really don't know why this is happening. I don't know why it happened. I'm sure it happened for a reason, and it might not even be my reason, right? So maybe this whole orchestration of things happening was not even about me. Maybe it was about the UPS driver. Maybe that UPS driver has been stealing from UPS deliveries for months now. And this was the one incident where this UPS driver got caught because it was a high value item. Perhaps, other items were not so high value. This is a really high value item. So maybe it was that. Maybe it had something to do with Costco and Costco's customer service. Maybe it was somebody that I talked to there that needed to hear my voice or whatever. So there are so many players in a situation like this that it's hard to understand and it's hard to assess the reasons why this happened. And so if I assess a judgment to it and I say, this only happened to make my life more difficult. This only happened so I'd lose money. This only happened because Costco is a horrible company. This only happened because UPS is an even more horrible company. Like if I assessed all these judgments to it, then A, it might not be true. And B, it would just make me more and more miserable, right? And it would lessen the possibilities for me to see things from a much bigger perspective. So when something happens to us, when someone says something to us, when a person comes into our life that, creates some anxiety, anger, upsetness in us, for example, it's best to remain in a non-judgment mode, meaning I don't really know enough to see the bigger picture here. I don't really know enough to see why this is happening, why this person is saying this thing. And things that we might deem as being really bad could actually turn out to be really good. Even though in the moment we think like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But then 6 months down the road, we see that that thing was actually pivotal in having something really good happen. And inversely, when we judge something as being really, really, really good, and then we are blinded because we don't see the whole situation, 6 months down the road, it might turn out that something that we thought was really good was actually really bad. So remaining in this state of non-judgment is really helpful so that you can embrace the law of pure potential. The law of pure potentiality says anything is infinitely possible in this infinite universe. So I had a second example to give you, and that was really about the nature of judgment and the nature of the self wanting to judge. Back in 2010, I was in, and I tell this story actually in quite some detail, I think in my boot camps. But in 2010, I was in a silent retreat, and part of my silent retreat was a part of a bigger group of retreat. And we had to remain silent in our group. And what was really funny was that, you know, when you're in silence, the voices in your head, like the noise in your head, the thoughts, the mind space in your head just the volume gets very loud. Especially if you're in a situation where you're volunteering to be silent, right? And it's not like you're by yourself in your home in your comfort zone electing to be silent. It's like I was in the middle of a seminar in this smaller group, which had opted to go silent. And one thing that I had noticed, and to my dismay and shock, because I thought, you know, I'm such a nice person. I'm such a wonderful person. I'm so nice and kind to people. About the second day, we were ready to integrate into the bigger group at large. And, you know, we could sit anywhere. And there were people in that group who were able to talk, and because they weren't in the silence group. And there was a woman sitting in front of me who was getting ready to sit down to listen to Deepak Chopra speak. And this woman, man, she was talking and talking and talking and just saying nonsense and just like blabbering. And she could not shut her mouth, it seemed. And I found myself getting increasingly frustrated and angry and like judgmental of her, going like, why doesn't she just shut her mouth? She's just saying things to say things, and she's just talking nonsense. And it seems like she's talking to hear her own voice. And then I began to laugh at myself because I said, wow, you are really judgmental, Michelle. You're like so judgy. What's wrong with you? And it was really through that silent meditation time that I was like, wow, I am so judgmental and I need to work on this, because in the silence of my own thoughts, in the silence of that space, I realized how much I was judging on a day-to-day basis, how much I was judging people outside of me without knowing them really. And it was a great exercise to recognize, even if you find that you are the kindest, nicest person in the world, how much you actually do judge. And I'm a super judgmental person. I'll give you that, guys. I'm super judgmental. I have a superiority complex. Like, I'm very judgmental, but it's been a work in progress. Okay. It's been for me, it's been a huge work in progress. It's been a huge work in progress to recognize it during that seminar, especially. And then after that, kind of make fun of myself and laugh about it when I find myself judging. So a nice way to call yourself on it is to kind of make fun of yourself, right? Kind of go like, oh yeah, there you go again. You think you're so much better than everyone else. Because humor, when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you look at your own flaws in the mirror, humor really helps to elevate that to another level, because you're not judging yourself, because the idea is not to turn around and then judge yourself, because non-judgment's non-judgment, guys, right? Non-judgment's non-judgment. So it's not to like turn around and start judging yourself and reprimanding yourself for being so darn judgmental. It's about like having some levity, right? Having some lightness about the situation and go like, oh yeah, like there's really no reason for me to get all wrapped up in this right now, right? Because it's not so important. And believe me, when things happen, like the thing that happened with Costco in the past 2 weeks for me, it can be really easy to get caught up in that, you know, wanting to judge everybody. And it's like everybody's fault that I'm not getting my refund. And I've had to remind myself continuously, like, I'm not really sure why this is happening. I have no clue why this is happening. This seems like a really shitty situation all around, and I don't really get it, because it started off with a nice gesture of wanting to buy my son a computer. But what can I do? What can I do? I really don't know why this is happening. I can get upset about it. I can get angry. I can start judging the people around me. But that's not going to help the situation. It's not going to make me feel any better. It's not going to make other people feel any better either. So it's just about remaining kind of neutral, observing what's happening, observing your feelings, observing your thoughts, observing your own minds, and just saying, well, this could be good and this could be bad. It could be great and it could be not so great, but I'm not sure at this point. I'm going to suspend judgment. I'm going to withhold judgment. And, you know, I would say it's a muscle, right? It's a muscle to be able to do this. And so the suggestion is to practice it maybe for one whole day a week. And if you can't practice non-judgment for a whole day a week, then try to do it for a couple of hours in the day and just say to yourself, today and this time from 2 to 4 p.m., I will judge nothing that occurs. Whatever it is, I will judge nothing that occurs. And in the first video of Life Wisdom Vlog, which I'll post here, I said, the expansiveness of the law of pure potentiality is about teaching you expanded awareness. So the more you fall into non-judgment, I will judge nothing that occurs, you're not pigeonholing yourself into an opinion, which is narrowed expression of awareness. So when you're saying like, I'm not really sure, could be good, could be bad, you're just still allowing that expansion to happen and not pigeonholing yourself into one specific outcome, one specific thing. And so it's just a practice in elasticity of awareness. And while it does take some focus, and it's not going to feel natural in the beginning, it's totally not going to feel natural. But with practice, it does get easier. And then when you are able to look at things from a non-judgmental point of view, your anxiety level goes down, way down. Because think about my Costco example, and if I thought that Costco did this to me as a person, can you imagine what my emotions would be? My emotions would be in turmoil this entire time. And I would be in a ball of stress this entire time. And yeah, it's bothersome, but I'm like, it'll get worked out just like everything else gets worked out, right? Whether I stress about it or not, it's still going to get worked out. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell. Scroll to all for all notifications. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who could use some spiritual life wisdom guidance. And thanks for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy a book. Guess what, guys? I have 9 published books. Check them out. The links are below. Support this channel, and I'll see you